Hello, guys, and welcome back. This is an interesting titled topic, and I feel like it's probably going to take some for a surprise, but the shadow side of spirituality. I want to talk about it because that I think there's a lot to discuss here. I think that we have some things that we could talk about. So obviously, I want to start off by saying my spiritual practice has helped to absolutely transform me from the inside out. I would choose no other path and way than the path that I've taken to find my faith, to be tapped into the energy that I'm tapped into today. And with that, there are absolutely shadow sides to having a deep spiritual connection, to being a highly sensitive being. And I think the more energetic we become, the more we peel back the layers that have protected us, that have helped us to almost harden. The more we peel those back and the more we soften and the more open we become, the more sensitive we become. And I think that that's a challenging aspect for some of us. And I know it's been for me. So that's why I want to speak on it. And like I said, I wouldn't choose any other way. I would never want to rewind and not open up spiritually and not open my heart. But I do think with this comes shadows, and I want to validate them for you if you've ever experienced it, or if you ever do experience it on your journey. So as we heal, I visualize it as certain parts of us within us that were once hardened, softening and opening and being able to more easily give out energy and feel and receive energy in. And as we do that, our heart becomes more open. And when our heart is open and our multi-perspectives widen, which happens as well with meditation, we feel more, we experience more, and we feel on a deeper level. And when things are good, it is so good. Like we feel a euphoria, an ecstasy, a bliss that we've never felt before. And when things are hard, that contrast can feel so vast and so dramatic because the highs are so high and we're so interconnected and we're so euphoric. And then the lows can just feel like, oh my gosh, how can I go from feeling that to now feeling this? And I think that even in our lows, when we have a spiritual practice, we have support. First of all, we have tools that support us. We have systems in place that help us, like our morning meditation each day. And we do have the perspective of the awareness of that moment of like, okay, I'm going through a hard time and I know this is temporary and I know that I can help shift myself out of it, but wow, it feels so deep and so low. And I think that that's one of the shadow sides of being open, of being a highly sensitive person and having an open field and an open heart. Because like I said, the contrast can just feel so deep and so dramatic. I also think that this isn't a different aspect of a shadow side of spirituality, but something that I experienced for quite some time and that I'm currently balancing is it's very easy once we connect to this higher place to always want to be there and always want to live there and not really be here on earth. But it is part of our path to be here on earth. We're having a human experience. We are in a physical human body. And part of the beauty is being here on earth, experiencing what's going on within the collective, feeling it all, and then retreating back into our soul and into that expansion. But with that, I think, and I've spoken about this before, I mentioned it a little bit on the podcast with Nikki, how when I first opened up spiritually, I was like, oh, I don't care about anything I used to care about. I don't care about shopping. I don't care about physical clothes. I don't care about all these physical things. I just want to be and stay connected to that space, which is wonderful and beautiful if that's how you feel. Wonderful and beautiful. But for me, since I'm an air sign, what I've actually had to do is root back down and connect back down to earth and actually enjoy the earthly experiences. And I think when we go through a challenge and we're feeling the lows and really feeling them because we're sensitive and open, it's important to not always have to feel so deeply, not always have to go so deep, not always have to search for the deepest healing modality, but to actually enjoy what's right here and right now. And I was going through this, I don't know, had this thought, I guess, in December at some point. And I was like, why do I have to be such a deep feeler? And then I remind myself, I love being a deep feeler. That's what makes me me. I love feeling the depths of the good. And, that comes with the contrast and the polarity of when things get challenging, feeling the depths of those as well. But as I was on this loop of being like, I don't want to be a deep feeler. Maybe I feel too deeply. Maybe I'm too deep of a person. Maybe I'm too heart opened. I just gave myself the opportunity to be like, Erica, today you don't need to be so deep. Go shopping, go window shop, go look at beautiful things, be in the earthly realm, touch things, buy things, enjoy the beauty of being in a physical body, enjoy some of what is surface level because not everything has to be so deep, so healing. We need breaks from that as well. And I think sometimes when we're on a spiritual path, we start to realize like, wow, there's so much to heal and so much to uncover. And I'm on that journey and I'm going to continue on that journey. But I'm going to balance it out with enjoying the earthly realm and the earthly experiences as well, because we're here for that experience too. And it is like that multidimensionality that we are. We're living in other dimensions. We're able to be telepathic. We're able to communicate, but we're also able to go to the store and like something because it's pretty and wear it because it's pretty, period, the end. Like, oh, that sounds so freeing to me, who just feels like there's needs to be so much depth and meaning in everything. And sometimes there's so much medicine in that. Another shadowy side of being a super spiritual person is being intuitive and really knowing what other people are feeling or thinking. It is a superpower. It is so cool and it's so amazing. And you have this ability to telepathically communicate, energetically communicate, as well as, through verbal communication. But sometimes it can be hard to actually know and see something that someone else isn't ready to tell you, or they're not ready to tell you how they feel about something. And with this, I think an extension of this is being an empath and being in the presence of someone and actually feeling what they feel and feeling their energy in your body. And of course, that's where we have to create boundaries and have a lot of like cleansing and clearing rituals. I have a protection meditation specifically for this on Evolve, and Marcy has an energetic shielding meditation for this too, which is great and very helpful. But I think sometimes that could be a shadowy side too. But what empowers us is knowing that we are sensitive, knowing that we have the tools, and being able to then access them and be able to clear them. I think the other thing is another shadowy side that I've experienced is, how can I even explain this? So when we have faith, we trust in the divine plan. When we surrender, we trust the divine plan so much. But then we could get into this space of being like, I know what's happening to me is part of my divine plan and it's for a reason. But what if I'm not happy with that divine plan? And it's like these different levels of surrender and acceptance. It can feel, it's like almost like so much awareness that it's like, it would just be better to feel this sometimes and to be like, okay, this is what I'm experiencing and there's no meaning to it. I'm just going to get through it. And on the other side, that's it. It's going to be over. I think as spiritual people, we know that there is a meaning to many things and that everything does serve a purpose and everything does teach us something. But sometimes what we can do is put the pressure on ourselves. Like, okay, this really hard time is here because it's teaching me something. It's making me stronger. It's getting me to where I want to be. And yes, that is all true. And sometimes we just need to be like, okay, this sucks. I accept it. I'll learn from it. I'll grow from it. And that's it. But as we're open and as we're deeply, deeply connected and spiritual and energetic, it could feel really hard in those moments. So those are some of the things that I feel like could be more of the shadow side of being a sensitive empath, a spiritual person. And as I started the conversation, I'll reiterate, I don't think I would change it or have it any other way because this is me, and I know I'm not happy until I go to the deepest depths of me and my relationships, and that's just who I am. I am on this quest for just like the deepest truth and the most alignment to my soul. And I also am committed to allowing myself to have the balance of just life and seeing things on the surface as they are, and finding the beauty of the surface of the material as well, because we are here for that experience too. So I shared this because if you are going through any of this, it's probably a time of growth. It's probably a time of a deeper spiritual awakening. And I just think it could be helpful to have that perspective, because with spirituality, there's so much beauty, there's so much bliss that comes, but the polarities always exist. And there's always that other energy that we can and will experience too, because if the light exists, it exists because there's also darkness. And that's truly the beauty, the challenge, the wonderful thing, and what we might say the terrible thing about life is that it all does exist and it will always exist. And it's just about how we navigate, how we move through it, and the practices that we have, the people we have around us, the support we have around us to help us move through. So that's just a little channeled message that I want to share with you. I hope it resonates. I would love to talk about this topic further with you. If you're guided to, you could always DM me. I love hearing from you on Instagram. But I thank you so much for listening in. Thank you for being part of this community. May the longtime sun shine upon you. Thank you for being here, and Sat Nam.